up here.
Welcome to Freedom Watch Afghanistan. I'm Tech Sergeant Gene Taylor. Defense Secretary Robert Gates is endorsing a plan to enlarge the Afghanistan National Army. According to the New York Times, this should increase Allied and Afghan capabilities prior to the arrival of more American combat troops. Secretary Gates wants to enlarge the Afghan military from its current projected strength of 70,000 men to 120,000 men over the next 5 years. This increase will require approximately $20 billion to pay for trainers, equipment, food, and housing for Afghan forces. In the next step, Pentagon officials will look for contributions from allies to help underwrite that cost. Additional U.S. troops are unlikely to be in Afghanistan until next year. Well, every day, coalition aircraft fly over the skies of Afghanistan, waiting for the call to provide close air support to the troops on the ground. Airman First Class Keith Grody introduces us to a member of the ground crew at Bagram Airfield who's breaking records while keeping our birds in the air.
Keeping planes in the air takes fuel, lots of fuel. The fuel's distribution operators of the 455th Expeditionary Logistic Readiness Squadron refuel the planes so they can get off the ground as soon as possible.
What I do is I drive the fuel trucks, take it to the planes and give them gas. My mission is important because we're providing air support for the soldiers in the ground. So I provide the gas to the airplane so they could go and take care of what they have to take care of.
But Airman Negron isn't just a fuel's distribution operator. He's a record breaker, pumping more fuel faster than anyone else on Bagram. When a plane lands, he's usually the first one to volunteer to get it fueled up and ready for the fight again. To his credit, Airman Negron has pumped about 1.3 million gallons of fuel on over 700 runs in the 3 months since he's been in Bagram.
Well, the record is pumping a million gallons the fastest. I did it in 61 days. The old record was 64 days. I'm really happy, I'm stoked, but I wasn't trying to break it, but it was something I did, just doing my job.
Airman Negron says he isn't worried about someone else breaking the record, and if it is broken, he'll be just as happy for that person as his co-workers were for him. Airman First Class Keith Grody, Bagram Airfield, Afghanistan.
Coming up, we'll meet a Marine who wields food in the fight against insurgents. Now, here's a look at your photos from the field. Soldiers from Task Force Centaur hand out radios alongside Afghan National Police to villagers in Nangaresh, Nuristan Province, Afghanistan on July 28th. The villagers waited with arms stretched wide for the chance to own a radio. No matter where they are, Marines look at hot food as a luxury. Corporal Robert Durham shows us how even with minimal resources, providing 150 meals a day isn't impossible.
This is Forward Observation Base Wilderness, Paktia Province, Afghanistan. It is currently 0030 Zulu time. Most of the soldiers here are still asleep. When they wake up, one soldier will have been working already for several hours.
Name's Specialist Reniger. I'm the DFAC manager out here. We're feeding about 150 soldiers out here, day in, day out.
Here there is no real DFAC. No civilian contractors to take the soldier's place to cook.
It's me and one other cook working up here 3 meals a day. It's a little more than this kitchen's supposed to handle, but we make it work.
Sure, it isn't the best chow in the world, but it's certainly a welcome sight to those deployed here.
I mean, with what I have to work with and the food we get in, we do what we can.
So the cooks do get complimented from time to time about the chow.
I do, but I also they also let me know when they don't like the meal, which happens a lot.
Well, you can't make everyone happy, but even with the heat, humidity, long hours, and complaints, this is the kind of job where you have to make the most of it.
Oh yeah, I've always loved cooking, and I have no regrets about switching over to cook. I love my job.
Reporting from FOB Wilderness, I'm Marine Corporal Robert Durham.
And that's it for this edition of Freedom Watch Afghanistan. I'm Tech Sergeant Gene Taylor. Have a great day.